Okay, so this one is, I think it's so ridiculous. It's kind of funny. So I'm just gonna start. I think I'm just gonna start right up here, because this part is sort of even, right about here. Okay, and so we have got, well, we've got just like a whole bunch of different size bricks and things here. And so, and it quickly goes from there. The perspective is what we're sort of looking at. It goes from here down to here, and then it goes kind of from, it goes sort of from here up to here pretty fast. It goes pretty fast right there. Okay, so right here we're gonna, okay, I want to make sure we've got enough room to do everything. Okay, I'm gonna go up here kind of like this, and then down. And so we've got kind of this fancy ring here on the door like this. Okay, so right here by the door, we've got sort of like a cactus right there. Okay, and oh goodness, right here we've got this thing right here, like that. I'm not sure what it is. There's a great big D right here. I don't know why there's a D there, but there is. There's a D on, oh, it looks like a lock. Actually, that's what it looks like, is a giant lock right here. It's kind of what it looks like. A door lock. And like that. Okay, and so then like right here, right in here, we're going to draw this little thing right there like that. So this is like a doorbell right here. And so up here we have, okay, let's see if I can draw this. I need to draw it kind of at an angle. It says the Texas album. The Texas album doorbell border crossing. Okay. DOOR bell border crossing. I'm going to run out of room. We're going to have to do it small. Border. Okay, so we've got that part right there. So the Texas album doorbell border crossing. And so we've got kind of a little thing right here that almost looks like a mailbox right in here. Right about there. Now keep in mind there's a whole bunch of wood and bricks and things. We're going to draw our bricks around like this because we've got this big thing of bricks that kind of goes around like this. Now we're going to draw a second thing around down like that. And so we've got kind of this double thing on the door, kind of like this. And then another one down like that. And so we've got a great big giant wooden door here, like that. And so this is our doorbell right there. We've got a doorbell right there. And I thought, oh my gosh, this looks like a joke. I can't tell you. This has been a big, well, maybe some other people have done it and I just haven't seen it. It's possible. But I thought, well, let's kind of have fun with this a little bit. And so we're going to draw these bricks right here. All of them are crooked, really, really crooked. The more crooked they are, the better. The better it looks, the more crooked it is. Especially in this instance, the more crooked the bricks are, the better. We don't want any of them the same. They can be crooked and oblong, just as long as they're kind of angled. And so, and if we make them too big, we can always make them smaller. Okay, so up here they're, well, let's see, we've got some, well, we need to make something that's holding our sign up here. The sign doesn't have to be put together too good at all. Doesn't have to be put together good at all. Just kind of thrown up there like that. And then we've got this right here holding the sign up there like that. I thought this is perfect. The Texas door, we got a doorbell. The Texas album doorbell border crossing. And so we're just drawing. Really, you know what else we could put up here at the top? Oh my goodness, I've got some folks commenting. Let me go over here. And we're going to go to live, and I'm going to see what we got going on here. Oops, wrong one. Wrong. I went on my wrong live. Okay. Good job. Good job. You're doing. Oh wait, thank you so much. Thank you so much for helping me out with ideas. I thought this one looked like fun. I got this one from TikTok. From my son. My son. Oh my gosh, I got 2 monsters on a can too. I got 2 ideas for monsters on cans now. Okay, so, and I'm going to do this one too. We've got like this really creepy looking, the Texas doorbell. This is so funny. This one is hilarious. I can't wait to see what AI does with this one. Once I got the joke, that they're doing, if it is a joke, I mean, I don't want to say my son was doing a joke when he was seriously doing his work. Oh my gosh, I don't want to imply that by any means at all whatsoever. And so, no, I wouldn't want to do that. You know, so I just saw him. It looked like him. Maybe it wasn't him. I could just be seeing things, and it was a guy who looked like my son, who really isn't my son. But there's this guy on TikTok in this video who looks like my son. Now, I don't know if it really is him or not. And so, but I thought, he looks enough like him. It's like, well, let's have a little bit of fun with it. And so, the goat, yeah, the heart. Oh my gosh, the heart. That reminds me of Jack. I miss Jack. But, oh well. He had to do what he had to do, I guess. He had to do something. And that's all I'm going to say. But let me finish drawing this, because I'm going to draw. I miss my kids, though, too. I miss my kids more than Jack. Because I really didn't know Jack that long or that very well. But I just had some... You know, I mean, he turned out to be a crook, one of the bad guys. And so, what in the heck is that vibrating noise? I got this huge, good golly. What in the world is that vibrating? Good Lord. Somebody's got a giant vibrator or something out there. Hey, stop. Stop. Your name is not Jack. No, quit. I know you hear the vibrating noise. What did we call that? Oh, the Schumann resonance. The Schumann resonance. I knew I'd remember it. The Schumann, I always say these things, and we've said them before in the Schumann resonance, and it's that plate where there's that stuff vibrating, and then it goes into geometrical shapes, and it's like this stuff is real. And we were having this really good discussion this morning too about crystals, that they were talking about crystals. And it's like, you're right. They're absolutely right that we have taught the crystals how to do things, because when we touch on our screens, we have a crystal in our LCD screen, and we've taught them how to add and subtract, and that's true. We have to. I mean, that is absolutely, they're right about that. So that's a really good analogy. Something I didn't think about my own self. So it takes some younger folks to come up with some of these things, in contrast to some of the old-fashioned things that I think about, that, well, I think it's a combination effort that we're trying to do things to help each other for a better future, but right now we're struggling, and we need some help from some, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to draw my picture here. I want to draw my picture here like this and draw some cactuses here. And we're going to have fun with this AI. That little vibrating thing, I heard that earlier today too. That was so funny. It's like, yeah, I know you guys know exactly where I'm at. And we have something to do with Texas. I know we have something to do with Texas. Right here it says the Alamo Wall. I didn't leave myself enough room. This is so sad. I didn't leave myself enough room. So I'm just going to have to go like this, and I'm going to have to draw it up here at the top, because I want those words on there too. The Alamo Wall, ALAMOWALL. Yeah, somebody has a car or something. They always have some technology that, we're always told in the past, that's illegal, and it's not. It turns out that it's not illegal. And that's what they're telling us with all these things, that a lot of this is not illegal. And so, it's so crazy to think that there's someone younger than me who is a leader in somewhere, who has access to all this stuff in the federal government, and they are telling people, well, yes, you can go do this because it's legal. And they literally are. They're letting them do stuff, because that's their belief. And it's true. It does turn out to be true when we look at things under certain directions, and it's like, okay, this makes sense. I just never had the training that the United States military had. I think maybe I've been under a little bit right now. I'm not going to call it propaganda. I'm going to call it education. I'm going to call it constitutional education is what it is. And that's the thing I think that's most important, is the constitutional education. So I'm going to shut up now before I don't want to turn people off with my live stream, which I'm afraid maybe I did. I didn't want to do that. Okay, so let's get in more bricks in here. So we've got some steer horns in here with the Alamo, a big giant doorbell, and we are going, I don't know what's going to happen when we put this into AI, but we're going to have fun with it. I have no idea. It looks pretty good, actually. It's not as good as the AI did in the Gemini one that I asked it to pull up, but it's good enough. That's what I think. It's good enough. This is drawing. It's supposed to help prompt people who are just starting out. I've only been doing this a few years my own self. It's not like I've been doing it that long. I did a little bit of drawing when I was younger, but nothing like this. I mean, this is just stuff I've picked up from YouTube. And, so I'm just kind of throwing some little things. We've got another little cactus here, just throwing some little things together that's kind of suitable with Zentangles and things like that, and doodling. And Google has the doodles, and everybody loves to doodle. I think everybody should love to doodle. Maybe they don't, but that's okay. We doodle in different ways. The car was a doodle car. Oh, that would be so cool to have a doodle car, right? It goes doodle 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 doodle. That would be like a phone. Doodle doodle doodle. It's kind of like yodeling, only doodle doodle. I'd have to practice with that, but it makes my tongue do some really big mouth gymnastics right there with it sounds so ridiculous, but it's funny though. Okay, so we're making some tiny bricks here. These are tiny, so I kind of have to make these a little bit smaller. I hear you, Texas and Eagle Pass, and everybody from the military. I know. I mean, that's the hardest thing for me that I don't like about these protests is it's like, okay, it's the same thing as you guys saying you don't like the United States military, and that pisses me off to no end. Because when you say you don't like ICE, then you're telling me you don't like my son, you don't like the military, you don't like the police officers or the people who have joined the military, and it's like they are going to they're going to tell on each other. If there's somebody inside of their purview who is doing something wrong, that's why they have these nut jobs attorneys who follow them around that are in JAG now. And they have all these other, I don't know, private citizen attorneys, I guess, who follow them around and do audits and things like that. And so that's why they have the nut job attorneys that are, I think they're recording stuff too. And so they're the ones who, I guess, who are watching the United States military and border patrol and to make sure they don't do anything wrong. And that's why they're recording them now. I don't know if they always did that or not, but I think right now they've probably found out they can just send some random guy who's an attorney to record them to see what they're doing. And they found out, hey, this is a great idea. We can catch some of our employees, some of our federal employees doing things. I don't know why they haven't deployed that on to Kash Patel yet, because he is a disaster. He needs to be fired. I would fire that man a long time ago. Because he's not doing his job. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't know what he's doing. I've heard the interviews on TV. He said he has no idea what's going on. And so it's like, how do you run an investigation when you don't know what's going on? So, and then they're asking for all the documents to come out related to Epstein. Now, I had to think about Epstein for a long time because it didn't make sense to me, and people were always telling me they thought that it was something I'd be interested in. The same thing with the Trump thing, and it is now. I mean, as time passes, it does make sense. And so all of them have been involved with this crime ring related to children and harming, abusing children. And so it's like, okay, I want to see the rest of the documents. I saw just one yesterday that had Donald Trump mentioned in it. Just one. Now, I don't believe that everybody in the Epstein files is guilty, because some of it was hotels and things like that and airlines, and it's like, well, what does that have to do with anything? So, and it's just kind of like when I was talking to someone else on TikTok, and we were talking about, and they said, well, just because you have a crime alleged against you doesn't make you guilty. They have to have something to prove it. And that's true. And that's the things that people have done against me, is the federal government didn't want to touch anything, apparently, with things that I had done. I almost kind of regret, I don't know if I do or not now. I do. I sort of regret deleting my channel, and then I don't. but for the reason, it's like I'd rather be somewhat anonymous instead of have my son be targeted. If he's still involved with the federal government in any way with a civilian job, I'd rather be somewhat anonymous, and I know he is probably more not anonymous than I am, but all the same, that's his choice. And so he's doing something, and I don't want to do anything that would put him in harm's way, and so that's why I do things kind of anonymous right now. And so, but right now I'm just making a little joke here related to the Texas album Doorbell Crossing. I tried to get it to say, what did I try to get it to say? The Texas AI came up with album, and I thought that works. That works better than what I would have come up with. Okay, let's draw another cactus right about here. That works pretty good. It looks really good. But I think right now what we're working on is getting rid of the monopoly. That's what we're working on, is getting rid of the monopoly. And I've been explaining and describing the monopoly on YouTube, or not YouTube, on TikTok, because on YouTube we're preaching to the choir, and there's a lot of us, and I'm reading about these Wall Street companies of these groups that were together, and they are literally falling apart. They are literally falling apart, and I'm so glad I didn't get involved with them. I am so thankful. That's one thing I really am. I'm thankful I never got involved with them, because they were a failure. They weren't going to work. And so maybe that's what happened. They had to attack me because their business model didn't work. And they were attacking me and calling the police on me. I guess I should have saw doxing as something that, if someone's attacking you that much, you're doing something right. But at the same time, why they would send people to your house who are illegal migrants, and then other people from other networks who you don't know and you have nothing to do with, and you don't want anything to do with them, that makes no sense. And they started doing that an awful lot. And I didn't want migrants coming to where I was living. And I don't know, maybe that's why I had to leave, because it was going to get worse, and they were just going to go there and try to, maybe it was for my own safety. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe I'll never know. I just wanted to live the last part of my life in peace, whatever that last part is. I could have another 40 years left of my life as far as that goes. So I don't know when that's going to happen, but sometimes right now things are made so hard, it it makes things are just challenging, and it's but I keep hoping that things will get better here soon for everybody, for all of us, and I keep thinking positive thoughts, and I want to do things. I don't like some things on TikTok, because they're always telling me how I should be having an opinion and of what, and oh my gosh, they drive me nuts. So let me draw a little mountain over here. We're going to draw a plateau type mountain right here. And I'm just going to draw it. Perfect. Oh, that worked out pretty good. And so I'm going to draw kind of some lines down like that. And some lines down like that. That works out pretty darn good. And let's draw some bare little trees over here like this. They don't have a whole lot of stuff on them. Oh my goodness. Okay, so okay, I'm just going to enhance the wall a little bit like this. And so we're going to have some fun here, seeing what we can get coming through our door here in a little bit. We're going to see what we can get coming through our Texas border door here, our Texas album border door. Um, I think that looks pretty good. So if anybody else wants to do a doorbell, we got a little doorbell right there, and we're gonna see if we can maybe get some things going up to the door and ringing the doorbell, and the door's opening, and then people are going through the doorbell, through the door, because they rang the doorbell. I don't know, we'll see if that works. Let's draw some little cracks here on and make some, yeah, that works right there like that. We'll draw some little cracks here. And you know what was so cool this morning? Somebody understood my analogy related to the flat earth as a way of thinking. And it was like a young person. They understood my analogy of flat earth mentality. It's like, my goodness sakes, I have hope in humanity, in understanding the logic of what I'm talking about. Or either that or they understood it all along and they just had something else they were doing. But they actually understood it. I was so happy about that. When someone understands it, even if they are 20, 30, 40 years younger than me, I'm so happy when someone understands something. And the old people my age just don't understand things that I'm talking about. They just have this really terrible mindset sometimes, which is sad. I know women understand me. Women tend to have a younger thinking, forward thinking, progressive mindset when it comes to some things, and that older men don't have that. They just, I don't know, I guess they're shutting down. And so that looks pretty good. I like that. So we're going to have a little bit of fun here and see what we can do with this a little bit later. I'm going to post it on TikTok and YouTube. We're going to be doing a little combination of both with some AI Alive features and see what we can come up with here with our Texas doorbell. This is a joke too, by the way. It's a joke, but we're doing a Texas doorbell. And see who we get coming through with the doorbell here. The Texas doorbell. Okay, I think that's it for right now, and thanks for watching. We'll see in a little bit. I have the can one I want to do here. I'm going to make a separate video. But I have two, actually two can ones. They are really cool looking. So I'll be back on in a little bit, and thanks for watching.